Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about something a little bit different, mainly because something happened last night I wanted to talk about. Um, Wondering if I almost died last night. No, and I'm not talking about a heart attack from a nightmare, or anything like that. But if I had been in the hospital last night, I would have been coded. It would have happened. Hospitals, will react very strongly to this. And it happened 3 times. So what was it that happened to me? I woke up in the middle of the night, completely drenched, and it was sweat. I just sweated, and I mean, my blankets were wet. I was just wet, with sweat. And, and I knew what it was, what had happened, and it's happened before, and in fact, it happened 3 times last night. So I would have been coded 3 times if I was in the hospital. So I want to tell you what it is. It's something called autonomic dysreflexia, and I want to read to you what what it is, and what it says. And this is something I have. It's also known as AD. It's a life-threatening medical emergency that occurs when the autonomic nervous system overreacts to stimulation in people with spinal cord injuries. It's characterized by sudden and severe increase in blood pressure, often triggered by bladder or bowel distension. AD requires immediate treatment and can lead to serious consequences if left untreated, including stroke, seizures, cerebral hemorrhage, cardiac arrhythmia, and death. So that's why when it happened to me in the hospital, it, uh, and I knew what it was, and I also knew what to do with it. I have drugs, that are meant to raise my blood pressure in that case, or lower my blood pressure in that case. I even have nitro patches that you can put on your chest to try to take care of it. Uh, but I didn't need to do that. What I needed to do, and what triggered it, was the fact I had to pee, and that's all I needed was to pee. And it wasn't like I had to pee a lot, um, it wasn't that bad, but it was something that triggered this event to happen to me. So I didn't need to take the drugs or anything like that, and I didn't need the hospital or anything like that. When I was in the hospital, they actually scheduled cathing, and they would wake me up in the middle of the night several times, and they would also roll me over, to my left side and my right side to prevent bed sores. But I didn't feel the need to pee then. I mean, I was that screwed up. If I had to pee, I didn't feel it, and when we're talking about the blood pressure changes, my blood pressure would go as high as like 200 over 150, and then it would drop in seconds, literally seconds, to something like 75 over 45. And that would leave me dizzy, nauseous, and really, really uncomfortable. And it felt a lot of diapers. I didn't know if I had to pee, so it would just happen. So it was, and then with the coding, you go, what's coding? Coding is when you have a medical emergency in the hospital, and a bunch of doctors come running in, a bunch of nurses, a bunch of aides, and then there's a tree outside the window, and there are a bunch of squirrels. They would show up because they would hear some story that there might be some nuts there, from the cathing. So peeing is a normal thing for most people, but when you have a spinal cord injury, it might not be, and for me, it's not, and it's never healed, even though it has improved. I can feel when I have to go pee now, and the other strange thing is I can't figure out why I have AD events at night, but I never get them during the day, even though I have to pee during the day sometimes, and I may put it off because I just can't get to it right at that point. But I've never had an AD event during the day; it's only at night. And then when I do cath, the amount that I'm getting is maybe 250 milliliters, which is not a huge amount. I mean, when I was in the hospital once, I cathed like 1,000 milliliters, at one time. 800 was common, 700 happened all the time. Now I'm getting AD events, even though the amount that I have to do is not that much. But peeing is a normal thing, especially for guys. We can even pee on the side of a tree. I've never done one on the side of a mailbox, and my dog just wonders why. He goes, why don't you pee on a mailbox? Um, and, and for what's happening with me now, I used to keep a schedule and wake up every 3 hours in the night. and then I would do the calf, and and that was because I didn't feel the urge to urinate. But now I'm at the point where I can sleep. Now it does wake me up, and I can do it. So I didn't feel the urge to do a schedule anymore. Um, and my body wakes me up real close to what the schedule would have been on that. And one way I try to control it is by what I drink. I drink in the morning quite a bit. For breakfast, I'll have some juice and a protein drink and a cup of coffee. And during the evening, I might have like half a bottle of water, and that's it. And that's the only thing I drink, and just those things there and water during the day. So I'm not drinking any kind of pop or anything like that. Uh, and the juice I'm drinking is one that cranberry juice is actually good for what's wrong with me. So I'm taking it as kind of a medical thing. So anyway, I also wondered, why the reaction to my body to having to pee was to sweat, and it's been kind of a weird ones too. Like one time, well, actually more than once, just my left side uh, got wet, and the right side was completely dry. My left arm was wet, my right arm was dry, left side of my face was wet, right side was dry. I have no idea why it only affected half my body. Very, very strange stuff. So I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. Something that's going on with paraplegia, what's normal with paraplegia. If you do get onto websites and watch other videos by people that have this, the bladder issue, as I read on that thing there, is a common thing, when it comes to that. This really messed up my body. It wasn't just taking away my legs, it messed up my innards, and it messed up my hands. I don't think it affected my brain so much. I was pretty nuts before that, and I think I'm just as nuts now on that. But I thought I would talk about this today. I know I've been doing a lot of short stories, so if you tuned in to listen to a short story, sorry about that. But peeing is marking your territory, and this is my YouTube channel, so I thought I would mark my territory right here by peeing on this thing here. But the question now is I have to wonder, how close did I come to dying last night? And the night before, and the night before. It keeps happening. I don't know, but at least I didn't pee myself. So anyway, this was what I wanted to talk about today. Probably not the best thing to talk about if you want to talk about I didn't talk about poop, so I kept that out of there, okay? So anyway, thank you very much for watching and listening and all that, and you have a good day, and go pee in a tree somewhere. Have fun. All right, take care. Bye-bye.